Good morning, everyone. Not that there's anyone online yet. But we are live on Instagram. We are live on Facebook this morning for coffee and questions on this beautiful Good Friday morning. Hello, Beck. Hello. All right, I've got my spy belt set up again, which is not holding so well, so fingers crossed that stays. Hello, everyone. Hang on, we're sliding down the screen. Classic. Hang on. Oh, I'll try and tighten that up. Put that there. There we go. Okay. All right. We're sorted. Can't see anything. It's okay though. How's everyone going? Good morning, Emma Reimer. Emma, what are you doing on Facebook? Shouldn't you be on your trainer already? I guess you've got your hands free. So for those of you playing along at home, Emma is doing a virtual Everest challenge today. She's probably just started. And so she's basically climbing Everest on her wind trainer inside. So no altitude sickness, no freezing cold, no travel, but still has to do the 8,848 meters of climbing. Good work, Emma. And it looks like she's on our Facebook live feed. Hello, Stu. Good morning. Hello, everyone. Good morning, Kathryn. Hey, Nadzie. Look at all these people online. So, hey, Margie Lewis. I was wondering if doing a Good Friday edition was a good idea or a bad idea. You know, it's public holiday. People don't work on public holidays. It doesn't really bother me, whatever. I don't really have any bounds. But I think heaps of people will come on, which is good. Emma says that she's passing their time by jumping on Facebook Live. Good morning, Janelle Hooper. Oh, we got heaps of people on. This is great. Let's see if we can make it a record. I think people working from home has been really good. And obviously people on a public holiday is probably going to be pretty good as well. So has everyone got a coffee? Good morning, Leslie. Has everyone got a coffee? I've been holding out for coffee and questions at 8 a.m. to drink this, so you'll have to excuse me while I actually enjoy my coffee. Good morning, Sarah. So good, so good. Good morning, Jane. Oh, there's heaps of people on. This is awesome. All right, so what I want you guys to do, if anyone else is drinking a coffee, I want you to take a photo of you drinking your coffee with me on your screen or something, and put it on the socials, put it on your story, wherever you want to put it, and tag me in it. I want to see how many people are drinking a coffee with me. Good morning, Tarlene Louise. Fluke Facebook having breakfast. There you go. Kathryn's already finished her coffee. I know, I had to hold off till 8 a.m. to drink this, so you guys are super lucky. Usually I have a coffee at like, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning, 6 a.m. Is that permission to make a second coffee? Absolutely, why not? It's Good Friday. You can do whatever you want, Kathryn. You've caught me in a good mood. Now, I need you online though, Kathryn, because I didn't actually write down all of your questions. Kathryn submitted about 50 million questions, which I read them all and I was like, Kathryn, we should just probably organise a phone consult to go through all of your questions, but I'll try and answer them all for you. But you're going to have to write them in here because I actually forgot to write them down. First time ever. But you said that about chocolate yesterday. Yeah, it's Easter long weekend. I think if you're going to eat chocolate, now's the time to eat chocolate. And I think you should eat chocolate and enjoy it and not feel guilty for it at the moment. So there you go, guys. You can record me saying that. Dietitian has said you can eat chocolate this weekend. Good morning, Leslie. It's like 6 a.m. there, Leslie. What are you doing awake? Janelle Hoop is making your coffee. Good work. Who else is drinking a coffee with me? Good morning, Shane. Good to have you on Coffee and Questions for the first time ever, Shano. All right, so I remember a few of your questions then, Kathryn. So you can spark my memory as we go through them. But if anybody has any questions, the only person that submitted questions was Kathryn, and she's submitted about 50 million. So if you've got any questions for me, hit me up. If anybody's got any questions about anything we did this week, we had a big week online. It was so much fun. I filmed in the beginning of the week. We started off with my quick green curry, which is live, so you can watch the replay on our YouTube channel, which is at Dietitian Approved. Then we made my grilled lamb with veggies and couscous, and you can watch the replay back of that. Yesterday we talked about, Kathryn, what did we talk about yesterday? Oh, free recipes. We went through all of the free recipes available for you guys up on the website. So I can link in here actually for the free recipes. So for anybody that wasn't on yesterday, you can get access to those today as well. And as part of that, I am gifting you a blank template for my free weekly menu planner as well. So blank, not complete. But if you do want a complete one, then that you can get a complete one as part of the weekly menu planning service. So we're up to week 2 starts as of Sunday night, Friday, yeah. So tonight's dinner is tofu stir fry, which, you know, for some of you might sound super delicious and exciting, and other people might be like, ugh, yuck. But having tofu or having sort of a meat-free meal once a week is generally a good option to try and keep our overall meat consumption down a little bit. In Australia here, we tend to be big meat eaters, and we know that really high intakes of meat is not great for us. So having one meat-free meal a week is a good option. And then we've got leftover chicken curry tomorrow night for dinner that we had last night. So it's been a good week. It's been delicious. It's been super quick and easy. And I'm looking forward to week 2. Kathryn, what are you saying? Fasting, periodizing your food, how to turn yep, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I remember the fasting one. Remember the HelloFresh one. The rest of them I've lost. Tarlene says, actually a phone consult will be good for my 16-year-old boy and myself. Yep, book on in. I'm working still. Just doing sort of phone consults at the moment, Tarlene. So anytime, Thursday afternoons. Leslie who's online watching can sort you out. Hey, Beck said tofu meal has shifted to lunch. Good Friday fish and chips happening here tonight. That's totally fine, Beck. See, that's the flexibility of the plan, Beck, is that you can do all of that. I've given you the whole framework and you can adjust it if you want it to suit your needs. So that's exciting. You have to tag me in your fish and chips then, Beck. All right, Kathryn said that's all I remember. Okay, let me write those down, Kathryn. So periodizing your food. Periodization, one of my favorite topics. HelloFresh and intermittent fasting. Some deep questions for 8 a.m. I haven't had a coffee yet. Hello, everyone. Bridget. Hello. Okay, all right. So has everyone got their coffee? Tarlene, menopause is honestly not my area of expertise. I'm a sports dietitian and I specialize in endurance sport. So if you're a swimmer, a runner, a cyclist, a triathlete, an Ironman athlete, or do crazy things like Emma and is currently climbing Everest on a trainer on the inside of the house, that's my specialty. So I can link you up with somebody that is more of a specialist in that area, I would think. You'd have better results with somebody that does work in that day in, day out. So I'm definitely not that's not my area of expertise. So you're better off with somebody that is their area of expertise. So I guess that's a good tip for people generally, is that if you're looking for help with nutrition, is to find somebody that works in that space. So I had a couple of questions. Weeks ago now about SIBO, like small intestine bowel overgrowth, and that is not my area of expertise. So I'm more than comfortable in saying, hey, look, I'm not good at that. That's not what I work in every day. So you're better off seeing somebody that is a specialist in that sort of area so that you can get better results faster. Like, why not? But yeah, I'm an endurance sports dietitian. I work for Triathlon Australia and I look after the Australian triathlon team. So triathlon's my jam. So if you're a triathlete, I am your dietitian, or if you do any sort of endurance sport as well. So all of those modalities broken down: swimming, cycling, running, and then other crazy long distance endurance things as well. Good morning, Lace Up Running. Whereas, yeah, Tarlene, you're probably better off seeing somebody that specializes in that. Menopause sportswoman. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about that one. Emma said, can definitely recommend you for endurance sports nutrition. Thanks, Emma. Yeah. You need to put that on the Google reviews or something, Emma. Emma, have you had a coffee yet if you're sitting on the trainer? It's 8 a.m. I hope you've had a coffee, at least one. Bit of performance enhancing kick having a coffee before you start or as you start. All right, so everyone got their coffee ready? Tag me in some photos of you drinking your coffee while you're watching me online. It's a bit weird, isn't it? Good morning, Owen. Okay, so Kathryn, let's start answering your 50 million questions, seeing as you're the only one that submitted questions. You are hilarious. All right, so HelloFresh, your question was around, let me just get it. You're already finishing your coffee. Oh no, that was way back. Sorry, hang on. How to turn a free HelloFresh box into something that resembles healthy food. Yeah, so we talked about those like meal delivery systems the other day, actually. And Art, a guy from the US, asked the question. So he kind of wants to know what I thought about them, and I think that they can be really helpful for people that have no idea how to cook or have no idea how to shop or anything. Like, it literally is a box that turns up on your door with everything you need to make dinner. So it's perfect. But I guess the negative to them is they're not particularly balanced, and they're also not individualized or specific as well. So a lot of the meals are really carb heavy. Like, they might be rice-based or pasta-based. And then there's other meals that are just like salad and meat. So in terms of like my mentality around nutrition is that you try and match nutrition to training load. As a sports dietitian, that's kind of my bread and butter, because you shouldn't be eating the same thing every day unless your training is the exact same every day. So HelloFresh, Kathryn, if you've got a free box, use it. Like, why not? Just don't get suckered into the subscription model that it is probably attached to it if you don't want to do it. But what I'd suggest is you still sort of focus on trying to build your plate so that you've got 1/4 of a plate protein, 1/4 of a plate carbohydrate, and half of it being salad and veggies. So whatever meal they've thrown at you, you want to probably bulk it up with some extra salad and veggies. And depending on the carb portion, like, that may need to be distributed a little bit, depending on how active you are at the moment, I guess. Hello, everyone that's joining. Emma said, yep, double shot beforehand. Good work, Emma. So you can, I think, use it. Like, why wouldn't you? So Kathryn said it arrived after I'd already done my weekly shop and now I have so much food. Can you make any of it stretch? Like, is anything they've provided for you going to last into the next week? Like, are they cryovac sort of things that might last a bit longer? Or is there anything that you bought that you could potentially stretch to the next week as well? I don't know, or give it away if you don't actually want it, so that somebody else in need might actually use it. But yeah, I would try and balance it out if you're going to use it. So try and build that plate, whatever the meal is, try and build your plate so that you've probably put extra salad or veggies into it. So even if you're putting like those steamer bags of frozen veggies on your plate to bulk it up, or like pre-bagged salad mixes and things like that, just to pump it up a bit more or add more to it. So I tried it for a week once and I found that I adapted everything because that's where my brain's at. It's like, this isn't high enough in this, or it's too low in this, or whatever. So I ended up adapting everything to suit what I needed. So I guess it's just having some skills to be able to adjust what they've provided. So Kathryn said, yeah, I'm going to have to be creative. Yeah, you're probably going to have to be quite creative. I'm interested to see what you make and what they've got though. And I think you'd probably have to throw a few things into the freezer just to get you through if you've got 2 weeks of food kind of prepped now. But you could also make it and gift the meal to somebody. I don't know if you have anybody in your area that really sucks at cooking or is sick or has no time. You could make it up and then give it away. That'd be a good deed. So does that answer your question, Kathryn? I guess just try and balance it out. Use that plate model that we've talked about to try and build your plate real estate the way that it should be, no matter what meal they've given you. I have no friends, kidding. Funny, we can't, you're gonna have to throw it over the fence to them at the moment anyway. Okay, so then your other question, which we can lead into, was on periodization. So I have written a blog on periodization, which I can link in here for those of you that haven't read it yet. So periodization is basically trying to match your nutrition across the week, across the season, across the year to training load. And it's a key principle of sports nutrition, and I bang on it about it all the time, because I don't think you should be eating the same thing every day unless your training is the same every day, or you're not active at all, and that's totally fine. You could continue eating the same thing every day, but variety is still the spice of life though, so I think we should be having good variety of foods anyway. Hello, all these people jumping online. So read the blog on periodization, maybe have a bit of a refresher on that if you've already read it. But I think depending on what your training is doing at the moment would depend on what you're doing with your nutrition. So if you're really not doing too much at the moment, you can definitely scale things back. But I was talking to Emma about this yesterday, like scaling back doesn't mean eating like less volume really, it's just eating differently, so that your overall like energy, calorie load's lower and potentially carbohydrate load is lower, but you still have the same volume there on your plate. So it's something that working with a sports dietitian can teach you how to do to be able to do that. And then if you do some training, or you've got big long rides or really heavy training days, then you try and scale that up without, again, changing the volume too much. So it's just being smart around the types of foods that you choose and how you eat, so that what you are eating on your plate can potentially look the same visually right across your week, but the overall energy content of it's different and the overall carbohydrate content is different, so that you're matching what your fueling needs is to training. So if you are not doing too much exercise currently, Kathryn, you know, I don't know if I'd count scootering as a form of like formal exercise. It's more like incidental, hanging out with kids. Then you can probably scale your nutrition back compared to, oh no, I just flipped you guys, sorry. Oops, sorry, gotta stop touching my screen. You can probably flip your strategy a bit, so you don't want to be fueling for an Ironman at the moment or eating as if you were heading into Ironman. We're kind of just in a holding pattern. Everyone's in maintenance at the moment. So you want to just be doing some base training, getting the body nice and strong, getting over any niggles that you might have, so that when we come out of this and it's finally over and we can go outside and hug people again, then you're in the best possible position you can be to go and race again and race hard. Well, build into racing hard. So that was a long tangent. I don't think my coffee's kicked in yet, but does that answer your question? Hopefully. But if you want some specifics, or if you want a meal plan, like a ISO meal plan to follow, Kathryn, we can do that. Just organise a consult, we'll talk through it and I'll write you up a new plan. Kathryn said, let's just say I'm enjoying this maintenance phase. I've had my lazy weeks. Apparently I have to start again. That's okay. Everyone's in the same boat. There's so many people that are just kind of struggling at the moment with no routine and no schedule. So some of the things we talked about this week in the lives is trying to have a schedule and have a bit of a plan, so that you can get through this phase and not come out, you know, in a worse state than you started. We want to try and aim to maintain. That's the goal through this period, is maintenance. Okay, we're not trying to do some crazy diet and lose weight. We're trying not to gain weight, I guess. A lot of people are really afraid of gaining weight at the moment. I think you guys just need to relax a little bit and, you know, find another focus. I think the focus should at the moment just be on health. Like, try and eat well, look after yourself, get enough sleep, do some gentle exercise. So one of the things that I've been working really hard to do is put together like just a bit of an online course around nutrition and how to manage yourself at the moment. So it did have a different name, but I've changed it. And I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet because I haven't quite 100% decided. But it's just basically around like healthy eating and surviving isolation at the moment, and just something for people to kind of learn and upskill yourself about, and get some of those foundations of nutrition happening. So that's coming. I'm working on it. I need more coffees in life to get there. But I guess keep an eye out for it. Good morning, Feed Your Future. Welcome. Have you got a coffee? Look, I got a coffee today. Okay, so that was 2 questions. You had another question on intermittent fasting for weight loss. And again, this is a blog that I've written on intermittent fasting. So I'll link that in here as well so that you can have a read. So there's more and more evidence around intermittent fasting. I probably wrote that blog close to 12 months ago now. So I haven't had a look at the current literature. But I guess in terms of weight loss, so hey, Feed Your Future, drink coffee and breathe. Yes, I have a coffee. Coffee's life. Everyone that's drinking a coffee with me, Feed Your Future, I've asked them to snap a photo of you drinking a coffee while you're watching me and post it or tag me in it, because I just think it's hilarious. I want to see how far like everyone drinking coffee together goes in the world, because there's people online here from all around the world, which is so cool. Okay, so intermittent fasting and weight loss. Okay, let's try and be articulate. So I think in terms of intermittent fasting, it's like anything really. Like, there's no magic bullet to weight loss. It's about finding something that works for you and something that you can stick to, because weight loss is a game of consistency. It's not a game of quick fixes and, you know, 8-week challenges or 6-week challenges or whatever, and then that's it. Weight loss is really around consistency and lifestyle change and overall behaviors that you can stick with forever. So if intermittent fasting is something that works for you, then there is some evidence around it for weight loss. But if it's not something that suits you, then it's going to be so hard, it's not going to be maintainable, and it's just become another kind of crash diet. So there's definitely, read the blog, there's some good research around it for weight loss for people that can maintain it, and there's a few reasons why it potentially works. But 12 months ago when I did a literature review and I went deep into it, we don't really know if it's the fasting that was causing the weight loss or if that people had actually just changed their diet and they stopped eating so much shit. So I would have to look and see if there's anything more clearer now. It's only been 12 months, so there probably isn't anything like groundbreaking. But, you know, if it stops you from eating for a certain period of time in the day and you're used to eating shit all the time, then obviously you're going to lose weight, right? So they don't know whether it's because of insulin changes or blood sugar level control or anything like that, or enzymes, because it could also just be that people have less opportunity to eat, so you eat less, so you lose weight. Kathryn said, so a training challenge I'm doing, all over it, having everyone do it, and I was curious because I like food. Oh, that's what it, okay, so it's a training challenge that you're doing. Yeah, and so read my blog, Kathryn. Like, you're a book nerd, or a, you know, uni student, book nerd, just another thing to read. Because you like food. Yeah, so like I said in the beginning, if intermittent fasting is something that works for you, like, excellent. Like, there's some people that just absolutely rave about it because it's changed their life and it totally fits in with their lifestyle, and they don't have to think about it, and it's just super easy and they can maintain it and they have consistency in that approach. So they're getting results because they can do something consistently. If it's not something that you can do consistently, then it just becomes another crash diet. Okay, it just becomes another magic bullet, like a quick fix that you're trying to do for a period of time. Then as soon as you stop it, generally regain all that weight back again, and often even more. So it really needs to be something that works for you and you can maintain. Good morning, Baz. Good morning, Jess Elliott. And good morning, Casey Flouch. I need to call you, Casey. Remind me. Remind me. Or ask me what you want on here if you want, if it's like PC. Fiji Future said can be dangerous for eating disorders. Yeah, 100%. So I don't generally work with clients, like eating disorder clients. If I do get any, then I refer them on. So definitely a bit of a red flag for people around restriction and eating. So I don't think that's you, Kathryn. You love food too much. So if you want to know more about intermittent fasting, definitely read the blog. It's probably more articulate than I'm being this morning around it. But I guess the take-home message is that if it's going to work for you and you can be consistent with it, then go for it and try it. Like, I think it's good for people to like eat around some sort of rhythm or routine rather than just eating constantly. Like, it's actually good for your stomach to be empty sometimes. But if it's not something that you can consistently stick to and it's just a quick fix fad diet thing, then I'd tell you to avoid it. All right, Kathryn said, I think with fasting too, I just like having breakfast, etc. with the kids. Yeah, so if you've got kids at home, you need to think about the message that you're sending to them as well. You know, like if they see mum not eating or mum like constantly weighing herself or weighing food and things like that. Like, I see clients now who are like 40, 50 who are still mentally destroyed from that. So you have to think about the message that you're displaying to your family as well in your behaviours around food and weight and things like that, because it passes on. They're little sponges. They absorb everything. And so you just want to be careful around that too. So if you guys have breakfast as a family, then, you know, fasting through breakfast is obviously not going to be something that fits in with you and is not maintainable long term. Fiji Future said, by the way, love your recipes. So you've obviously had a look at the free recipes, which is good. So thank you. If anybody wants free recipes, I'll put the link in here. So I've got lots of links happening. Leslie, are you taking notes? We need links for lots of things. Few blogs, free recipes. If you haven't already, join the Dietitian Approved Crew Facebook group. We'll link that as well. That's where all the cool kids hang out. And Kathryn said, my kids have poached eggs most day, won't lie, so do I. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, next question. You're rounding me up. Fasted cardio. So what's your question around fasted cardio? What do you want to know? Type faster. Oh, funny. What would we do without the internet? Casey Flash, love some Easter healthy recipes. Okay, so I've got a little Easter recipe book. It's more for like making little things with kids. So there's like some chocolate Easter egg bunnies. There's some little protein balls. There's chocolate chick eggs. So if you're interested in that, I can send you the link, Casey. Or Leslie, if you're online and you're listening, can you pop the link in the chat for Facebook? Let's see if this works. Maybe this is the strategy, Leslie. I get you on Facebook Lives for me to put all the links in there. That's a way better idea. Okay, Kathryn says, good morning, Beck. Should I be doing it? Geez, under pressure today. Oh, where do we get that? Link it, please. Okay. I'll link you the Easter recipe books. It's like $5. It's not like a money-making thing. It's purely just to have some fun with the kids in the kitchen over the Easter break. I've been so busy that I forgot to share it. So it's Good Friday. Let's do it. Let's see if Leslie's listening, and then Leslie can do it. If not, I'll do it when I jump off. Okay, so fasted cardio, should you be doing it? Okay, so I'll answer this because I know you and I know the background behind you. but I'll try and talk to it generally as well for everyone else that's online listening, hopefully drinking a coffee with me. Yeah, coffee and questions. Can you tell my coffee's starting to kick in? Okay, so fasted cardio. So Kathryn is a triathlete, has done Ironman, going to do an Ironman again, and is not doing a lot of training currently. So that's a bit of background about Kathryn. Sorry if you didn't want me to share that. Okay, so fasted training to not fasted training. So why you would do fasted training? So fasted training is really good to do a bit of fat burning. And so what happens when we train fasted is that we actually utilize fat more as a fuel source. Now that is for only like aerobic, lower intensity type exercise, where we're burning about 50% fat, 50% carbohydrate at that intensity anyway. Now you can have like a black tea or coffee before you go, no milk, no sugar, so no carbohydrate in the mouth whatsoever. And that will help you release fat from the cells, and then it's kicking around in your bloodstream so that you can then burn that fat that's in your bloodstream as well. So it's a really good strategy if you're trying to drive body fat loss. And it's also a really good strategy if you're an endurance athlete and you're trying to get your fat oxidation pathways working more efficiently. So if you're doing Ironman or 70.3 or anything even longer, like Emma, who's doing like 24-hour things, then we want our fat oxidation pathways working effectively, because then you're not as reliant on carbohydrate as a fuel. Because if you're doing the long stuff, your intensity is generally lower than if you're doing like a sprint distance try or a Olympic distance or any of the short, sharp, fast events. Like a swimmer like Casey, like there's not a lot of point him doing fasted training when he's like a swimmer. Unless you're doing long course case, then you could potentially do some, but swimming's quite high intensity, so we're relying on a lot of carbohydrate for that, but it's also over quickly. So Kathryn said, what's the max time we should be training fasted for? Good question. Okay, so fasted training is also a little bit risky, like in terms of injury risk, so we don't want to be doing it for too long. So I would say as a rough cutoff, you want to sort of do fasted training if it's up to about 90 minutes. Okay, and then that's a really general guide. If you need any specific help on that for your situation, let me know. But really generally around sort of 90 minutes. Okay, and that depends on how, like the modality, whether you're swimming or riding or running, your overall intensity, and what else you're doing around that as well, I would say. So if you've got another session that afternoon, or like if you're doing a fasted ride and then you're running off the bike, like you've got to take all of that into consideration. So if you have a 2-hour wind trainer tomorrow but low intensity, yeah, go for it. Like, especially because it's on a wind trainer, and well, you can fall off a wind trainer, but if you do sort of fade towards the back end, you're not on the road, you're not a danger to yourself or others. So I think you could definitely do 2-hour wind trainer fasted. Also thinking that you're potentially carb loading at the moment. You know, Easter, eating more chocolate. So you'd be fine. Like, it's not like you don't have any fuel reserves in your glycogen fuel tank. They're probably well topped up at the moment. So yeah, 2 hours, you'd be fine. All right, Liam, my coach, welcome. So Carmel said, would a brisk walk be good exercise to do fasted? Absolutely. Because the intensity is so much lower, you're burning a lot of fat when you're walking. So you could definitely do that fasted. So Beck said, so fasted cardio, all good for early morning pram one with row boy. Yeah, 30, absolutely, Beck. So Beck, if you're pushing a pram with, 9 kilos in it, 10 kilos, for 30 to 45 minutes, absolutely. You'll do some good fat burning in that, and then have a good recovery breakfast after. Hey, Liam. Liam, you're a Brisbane boy these days. Come over to the good side of the country. All right, so does that answer your question on fasted training? You basically just wanted to know whether you should eat before your session tomorrow or not, didn't you, Kathryn? But hopefully we had a good discussion. Registered foodie, good morning, Art. He said, tagged you in my story. I got my coffee mug in hand, obviously. Funny. Hello, Claire Flower. Hey, Liam, we're all having a coffee together. So I don't know if you're a coffee drinker these days, but you've got to get a coffee and then take a photo drinking your coffee while you're watching me and post it online. Okay, Kathryn, do you have any other questions? There was 50 million, but they were 3 good ones. I'll have to take a screen grab of all of your questions. It was so funny. It was like, Kathryn, this, Kathryn, this, Kathryn, this, Kathryn, this. I'm like, oh gosh, the whole page is Kathryn. All right, so Carmel Ryan, is it possible to do fasted exercise in the afternoon? How long after lunch to be considered fasted? So it's not possible to do fasted training other than the morning because you're no longer fasted. Okay, so just like you fast for surgery, they want to know how many hours you're fasting for. And I don't know what the cutoff is specifically, but it's at least 8 hours, I think. Don't quote me. But yeah, it's impossible to do fasted training in the afternoon. So the only opportunity to do it is in the morning. Good morning, Wendy Barrett. So Kathryn said, this means I'm going to have to get up early to train now, doesn't it? Yeah, but that's okay, right? It's Saturday, it's a long weekend. Get up and train before the kids get up and annoy you, and then you'll be done early. It's good to have some structure and some routine at the moment, Kathryn, too, especially if you're going a bit AWOL. Just get up and get it done. Set an alarm, get up and get it done. It'll be beautiful and you'll be thankful for it after. Oh, Liam, just snap a photo of your empty cup. Oh, funny. All right, what's everyone doing today? What's everyone doing for the long weekend? Has there anybody got any interesting, I don't know, like projects or things that they're going to do with their long weekend at home? We can't go anywhere or do anything. So is anybody being crafty and doing anything interesting that we could all learn from? I'm basically going to work because I'm a loser and I don't have time in life. So that's not that exciting. But I'm going to definitely work today and tomorrow, try and get this course up and running for you, do some more weekly menu planning, do some filming. It's going to be fun. Not eat any chocolate. No, I'll have some chocolate. A little bit. Not a huge Easter fan. Kathryn says, I asked Charlotte what she wanted to do. She has asked for a dance party, a dance off, and wash the dog. Can you wash my dogs too? They need to wash this weekend. That's an interesting long weekend at home. Anyone else doing anything interesting? Just Kathryn. It's just you and me talking, Kathryn. Everyone else is just chilling. So Janelle's asked, I eat gluten and dairy free. Would I be better off getting an individual meal plan? Good question, Janelle. So the weekly menu planning is definitely not tailored for any sort of food preferences or food versions. It's really general, and I just assume that everyone eats everything. You could easily adapt it for gluten-free. With just subbing out like gluten-free products. I don't think that would be too difficult at all. So say for instance, if there's like a pasta, you just use gluten-free pasta, or if there's soy sauce, you use gluten-free soy sauce. That would be totally easy. And same with dairy, I think. There's not a lot of dairy in the dinners. There would be a couple of recipes that were, so I'm thinking like my pesto pumpkin risotto pasta. No, pesto pumpkin ricotta, that guy, that's got some dairy in it. Like chicken burgers have cottage cheese in them, but you could leave that out. So it's possible. Or the other option is to get a completely like custom individualized one. So up to you. Or you could try the weekly menu plan for a bit, see how it goes and see if it's easy enough for you to adapt, and if you've got some mad skills in adapting. And if it's too hard, just like cancel, and then we can do individual after that, or we could just go straight to custom, whatever you want to do, whatever's easy. So Liam said, I'm reading Coxie's book and writing up a vitamins and minerals chart to travel with. Good work, Liam. That's a good productive long weekend strategy, although we're not going to travel for a bit, mate, but that's okay. You're totally organized. I love it. Kathryn said apparently we're downloading TikTok. Oh man, I am not going down that rabbit hole, I don't think. Jane said I'm going to try your recipes, do some bulk cooking. Yes, Jane. Jane, have you got the free recipes little course? Make sure you grab that if you haven't got it already. Or the recipe database if you want even more recipes. Kathryn said wait for the TikTok spam. Oh man. I'm going to make some hot cross buns and banana bread for the kids today and some homemade yogurt. Get my cook on. That's so cool. I love that everyone's cooking more now. So that's one of the big reasons why I tried to do the weekly menu plan for you all, is because so many people are sucking at planning meals and cooking, or have suddenly been lumped with that role, but have no idea how to do it. So I've just taken all that thought out of the process and all the stress and like trying to deliberate over what to do, and just done it for you. So this is week 1. We're about to move on to week 2, but it's got like all of your meals and all of the shopping list that goes with it as well. So it's like a one-stop shop. You just take this to the shop with you, get everything you need, put other things on there that you want as well, and it's all done for you. So if everyone that's got more time and needs help, that is definitely something that would be beneficial. Janelle said, okay, cool, thanks. I'll check it out and see what I can do. Yeah, so like having a look at week 1, Janelle. So like the panko crumb snapper has got breadcrumbs in it and panko crumbs. So you could just use gluten-free crumbs and that would be totally fine. Curry, we just have to check the curry paste to make sure it was gluten-free for you. Or yeah, use a brand that is good. And then we've got some couscous the next night, which again, you could sub out for brown rice or something. And otherwise the rest of it, there's no dairy. There's just a bit of gluten in there, but easily subbable. So like week 1 looks completely doable for you. And then we'll just have to look at the weeks moving forward. So definitely worth checking out. It might just be an easy way for you to do your menu planning. And yeah, see how it goes. And if it just becomes like arduous, then we'll just do custom for you. But I think it probably is fine, as long as you know how to adjust things a little bit, like how to replace with gluten-free. It should be okay. I think you'll be okay. Hey, Margie. Margie, are you on Facebook and Instagram? Liam said future planning. Good lad. I like that you're organised, mate. Make use of your downtime. And Jane said you've got the recipe database. Oh, awesome, Jane. So there's heaps of good batch cooking recipes in there. So a couple off the top of my head would be the Mexican stack is delicious. You could do lasagna. We're going to make lasagna this weekend for next week. I'd batch cook some burger patties if you can get access to enough mint. So things like the chicken burgers, the beef burgers. You could batch cook san choy bao. There's a couple of curries in there that are good to batch cook and throw in the freezer as well. So there's heaps of things in there that could get you started with batch cooking and just stocking your freezer if that's what you're up to this weekend. That sounds amazing. Make sure you send me some photos or tag me in some photos of all your creations. I love seeing everyone's food photos. I think it's so cool. And yeah, throw them in the Dietitian Approved Crew Facebook group if you're in there, Jane. And if you're not, you should join. All right, does anybody else have any other banter or chat they want to talk about? I've answered a few of your questions, and I'll link all of those blogs in here for you so you can have a read of them. It might be a good sort of long weekend task. For periodization and intermittent fasting, I'll link those. And then I'll just link the free recipes in here for those of you who are wanting it. And I'll also link Easter, the Easter recipe book. It's like a cool little ebook of fun things to do in the kitchen with the kids this weekend. All right, any other questions, any other comments, thoughts, feedback, general banter that you guys want to talk about? Everyone's gone quiet. So if that's it, then we might sign off. 8:50, these things fly by. Like, where's the last 45 minutes gone? I'm like, oh yeah, coffee and questions about 30 minutes, and it ends up being an hour. And it's just me talking. I really wish we could have like a big Zoom screen or something. Maybe we should do that with everyone on, and you can talk and drink coffee. Maybe we should do that one day. And hey, Art, if you're still on, registered foodie, I had a thought for you in terms of cooking at 10 a.m. I thought maybe I could make my savoury muffins for you at 10-ish, which is like a morning, it would be a snack. So easy to cook at that time of day, I think, 10 a.m. So if you're interested in watching me cook my savoury muffins, Art, let me know and I'll organise it. See, you planted the seed and I've been thinking about it, so it worked. Kathryn said you should know it's always going to go for an hour. Yeah, I know. I should just let's just talk for an hour. All right, so if there's no other comments, no other questions, Tarlene said this was good. Thank you. You're welcome. Every Friday morning, we jump on and have a coffee together and talk through some sports nutrition and any other randomness you want to talk about. And yeah, just generally keep in touch with people. I think it's really important at the moment to connect with people online so much more. So final shout out to Emma, who's Everesting today and is on live at the moment. So she's climbing 8,848 meters on the indoor trainer, on the bike, and is thinking it'll take 20 hours. And if she can get through that, then she's going to push for 10,000 meters of climbing. So that is pretty cool, Emma. Look forward to watching her journey today. So everyone give her a big cheer for doing something so cool. All right, well, if that's it, everyone, then I might sign out. Kathryn said, I'm procrastinating from doing an FTP test. Oh, that would be horrible. I think you definitely need 2 coffees for that, Kathryn. Oh, funny. All right, yep, so if there's no more comments, no more questions, then I'll let you guys enjoy your long weekend. Happy Good Friday. Remember that Easter eggs this weekend are totally on limits. The dietitian said that you can eat them. Just eat them mindfully. And I'm filming a little video on how to eat mindfully if anybody's interested in that. So Emma's just checked in and said, cheers, 1 of 10 climbs done, 9 of 10 to go. Go, Emma. Maybe we should jump on live for you every lap that you do. All right. Beck said, thank you. Thanks, Beck. Have a good long weekend. Liam said, thanks, Taz. You're welcome, Liam. Good to see you and enjoy Brisbane life, Liam. It's the best. Jane said, same to you. Thank you. Enjoy cooking, Jane, and don't forget to tag me in any of your creations. All right, guys, have a good long weekend. I'll talk to you next week. Coffee and questions. Have a coffee with me. And I'm going to link all those things for you now, and then I'm going to go looking for all the photos of you guys drinking coffee that you've tagged me in. It's going to be amazing. All right, see you next week. Bye.